Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We're here for yet again another match of the Vancouver Sevens. This one, New Zealand taking on Wales. We've just seen a dominant performance from Samoa. New Zealand will have to play Samoa in their next fixture, so they would love to have 2 wins heading into that game, as then it will be a battle for who gets the finish in first. But looking through at the New Zealand starting lineup for this match, it is going to be Dixon and Shu, then also Kitiona Vai, and their Kurt Baker, Rokolisoa, who did come off the bench in the last match, Leroy Carter, and then will be Caleb Tangitau, who is sitting in there as the last man in the New Zealand starting lineup. Then for the Welsh, it is going to be McDonough, and there then also Chris Smith, Callum Williams, Trehan, he was working extremely hard for his side, Lloyd Lewis, then Rosa and Swanak in the starting lineup. But New Zealand, Wales, it's going to be a good battle here out on the field. New Zealand would love to get themselves a comfortable win, but Wales will not make it easy for them. Wales in their first game, they were up against Samoa, and they did end up having a loss there. They did end up, or they are actually going to be playing Japan in their last game, I should mention. So if they can somehow beat New Zealand, that could actually knock New Zealand out of the running for being able to qualify for the quarterfinals. But currently Samoa, with their 2 wins, they are qualified, and it's going to be the big question of how it does end up going. But currently, the referee in charge of this one, it will be the Argentina, I want to say that it is. At the stage, either Argentina, or Uruguay. That's where the referee is from. But now getting ready to go. New Zealand look like they are going to be receiving the kickoff here from Wales. And Wales will need to start this match well. Start it quick, start it hard, and see whether or not you can put the Kiwis under some real pressure. But Tony Unshu giving his nod of approval to someone who was standing next to him. And Lloyd Lewis, he is ready to go. They have just said good morning to our New Zealand fans. And I assume at this stage we might get to see a few of you Kiwis in New Zealand who have just woken up for the Sunday morning. So it's actually Easter at the moment, isn't it? So happy Easter to everyone who is out there. Sam Dixon currently taking that one down, and straight away Wales win the penalty. Now Trehan is about to get ready. Now Kitiona Vai ended up giving away a penalty in his first game of this tournament because he decided to take a quick tap. But the problem was it wasn't his quick tap to take. Callum Williams going to be going for this quick tap, and Wales, they will have possession now. Trehan, little kick in behind. Okay, trying a new tactic here for Wales. It almost works out. Oh, a lot of pressure. There was a big double push in the back there for Chris Smith. It's unfortunate little push in the back. It looked like a pretty solid one to me. But now Leroy Carter passes it back across. Kurt Baker running hard. He's gone through the tackle of Trehan, gives it off into the hands of Rokolisoa, and they are not going to be catching him. Kurt Baker, he knows that he doesn't have as much pace as he used to, so he was like, you know what, just make the young guy run. He'll be right. And that is going to be the first try of the match for New Zealand, and they are now going to be leading 7-0 after this kick goes over, as it is straight out in front of the post. It was a good run from Kurt Baker, breaking through the tackle of Swanak, and then from there, he gave it to the man on the inside, Rokolisoa, and he said, yep, you go for it, and he was gone. As soon as he had the space, they were not catching him. Now putting that ball down very nicely. But the next game that we are going to be covering on the channel, ladies and gentlemen, it will be starting at around 9 a.m. And that is Fiji versus Kenya, followed by South Africa versus Canada as the 2 that we have got coming up in the next little while. And then later on, New Zealand, Samoa, Fiji, USA, and South Africa, Australia. So 3 big games coming up in the 7 series. Kurt Baker going to be kicking off this one about a metre or 2. If he's lucky, that was not a good strike of the ball. I know that it was McGarvey Black who was struggling with the kickoffs. I don't know what it is, but currently, like, the ceiling or the roof was on at the ground, so it can't be that. But no one's striking the ball too nicely off kickoff. We've probably seen as many short kickoffs as we ever have here. And also, New Zealand is currently on a 9-game winning streak in Vancouver. Have never won 10 straight here. There you go. So they need 1 more win, and that will be up against Wales if they were able to do so. Apparently, my voice is starting to go in and out a little bit. I'm worried that it might start disappearing before we get to the final live stream, but we've still got 5 more after this one. And then after that, we have got the recording session that George is going to be joining me for. It's a massive push there from New Zealand. They steal it, and it's a penalty at scrum time. That will give them a lot of confidence. Now, Rokolisoa thought about taking it quickly, but unfortunately the throw just wasn't quite accurate enough to find his hands. Rokolisoa now taking it quickly. Goes it off to Kurt Baker on the halfway line, off to Sam Dixon. Played a little bit of rugby for Canterbury and the Bunnings NPC. Rocco Solia, he's going all ripped down by his jersey there. Kurt Baker now under pressure. Trahan been able to make the tackle on him. And able to keep that ball just on the ground for the Kiwis at the back. Sam Dixon now looking to his side, drifting cross field. Still just available, and it was the good work from Caleb Tangitau to keep it on the side of the Kiwis. Now Baker goes back across Tony Ngshu. Now nicely done. Straight into the hands of Vi. Trying to find the offload, unable to. Kitiona Vi. And also, good morning, brother. Hamish, God bless you. And this is Justin. Welcome into live stream, mate. I hope you are doing well. And I hope you are excited for a day of sevens. Caleb Tangitau certainly is. And he's been able to score the try near the corner. And the Kiwis will get their second try of this match. Currently 3 minutes left in this first half. And they are going to be certainly working their way towards a quarter-final position here if they continue to go the way that they are. But Kitiona Vi was wrestled down in the end. And I was okay, now All Black Sevens win this one. And this is Justin here. It's looking pretty good for them at the moment. The game after this one that we are covering, it is Fiji versus Kenya. That will be taking place at 9 a.m. and should be a very exciting game, followed by South Africa versus Canada into the other matchup. But it's going to be drop kicks from Kurt Baker. He's nailed that one from the touchline. So he wasn't quite able to nail the kickoff, but he nailed a kick from even harder. And Kiwis in the second gear now, says Mimania. And they know how important that points differential could end up being for them, definitely up against Samoa, because we've already seen a draw in this competition. That was between Argentina and actually France, the first game that we saw. And I was like, go the lads. Says Desla, that's gone out on the full from New Zealand. What's going on here? I don't know whether or not it's both sides just trying their absolute best to get that pinpoint accurate kick off, but it just went wrong. Once again, and now Wales will have the ball on the halfway line. Kurt Baker, he looks at it, he sees it goes out, and he goes, oops, that was two in a row now. Now tapping that one for Wales. Another good attack and move. Beautiful pop pass up. It's taken by Williams. Great body position from the Kiwis, though. And it is going to be Tony Nshu, who does end up winning the penalty. Kitiona Vi now taking that quick tap. He was trying to milk the penalty, but the referee wasn't buying it. Now it's going to be Rocco Solia. It's gone up. It's going to go back for another penalty for the Kiwis. Okay, the referee was just trying to find the mark there, but 40 metres out from their own line here. New Zealand are once again going to have another attacking opportunity. Good morning, lads. And there's Justin, but now Tony Nshu takes the quick tap, passes across to Baker, who has been very prominent throughout this first half. Rocco Solia now going back across to Sam Dixon, unable to link up with Rocco Solia. Now running for Tony Nshu back in his space, still staying on his feet, fighting hard for every single meter he can get in morning. And there are laddies. And there it says it was Mimania now going back across for Kurt Baker. Wide slinging pass. It sits up for Kitiona Vi. He's got now a man with him if he needs him. He's just got a big fin, though. And he goes over. Vi has been able to score it low. And you know when Fiji is playing and who they are playing, says, I do indeed. So next game for Fiji is going to be at 9 a.m. or 9:04 a.m., I believe it is. And that will be the game between Fiji and Kenya for that one. And also, okay, it's only past 10 p.m. here. And as I said, Mimania. Nice run from Tony Nshu. And it does lead to a good attacking opportunity for Vi, who does go over, scores the try and says, thanks very much for coming. And that is going to be the third try of the match now for the Kiwis in the first half. For 5 fins, he did end up throwing in the face of Williams, Callum Williams, that is. And now Kurt Baker strikes it. Kurt Baker misses away to the left. And now currently it is 19-0. They have got one more opportunity just about 8:30 a.m. in New Zealand. It certainly is. So we have been up since about 3:30 yesterday was the time that we did end up starting off with our kind of live commentary and whatnot. In fact, it was 4:30 now. Nice ball on the inside. Caleb Tangitau finds the offload. And Rocco Solia finding another one, and that is going over. And Leroy Carter scores the try for New Zealand. And Fiji game is in about 45 minutes. And as I said, Mimania, so yeah, that game is going to be coming up relatively soon, and we are going to be covering that on the channel. So be sure to stick around for that game between Fiji and Kenya. Should be an entertaining one. Sam Dixon, great gliding catch. And yeah, and unfortunately, Luke Trahan just not able to stop him. He wasn't really sure what to do with that one by the looks of it. He just didn't have the height advantage to what Sam Dixon did, and Leroy Carter goes over, scores the try. It was a very nicely done indeed. But yeah, pretty much anyone wondering why they have all got kind of like the knee protection and also the elbow protection is because they're playing on some very tough turf. It does just tear you open if you do get it slightly wrong. But currently at halftime, it will be 26-0 in favour of New Zealand. So a dream start to this game. And if they continue in the second half, they may be able to bring up 50 points. I'm just going to have a quick look as well. Have we had anyone bring up 50 points so far in their rounds? One moment. We'll go back right. Round one. Most we had was 40 for New Zealand. Round two, the most that we've had is Samoa with 35. So New Zealand might be able to top both rounds in terms of points being scored and playing Kenya. And there's Esmamanea up there next game up against the Kenyans. So it's going to be a tough one. Lloyd Lewis, we have hardly seen him in that first half. I'm wondering whether or not they do make a couple changes. Maybe you bring on Jones. At the moment, they have just said that they apologise for any language in the huddle. So that's the thing. If you're going to mic up a huddle, you've got to expect some swearing. It's just going to happen. Definitely if a side is 26-0 down, they're going to get told to sharpen the up and work out how to do it. But currently 6 missed tackles for the Welsh in that first one. So the coach more than likely said make some tackles in there as well. But currently now Wales, a few more players coming onto the field. Morgan Williams, he's going to be one. And I believe Lennon probably not too far off either. But Kurt Baker got plenty of experience for the Kiwis. He's going to be kicking this one off. Surely he gets it right this time. 2, he has made the mistake of. In fact, it might almost be 3 now for Kurt Baker. Right. Does he get it right? Kurt Baker about to kick this one off. The whistle blows. He lines it up. This time it doesn't go 10. And it's taken by Wales, except to hit the hand of the Welsh player. So because of that, they are allowed to keep on going. Tony Unshu does have the knock on. Now Wales looking at going for the quick line out, decide against it in the end. And now it will be the option of either a line out or a scrum. I do see Kitione Vai has got an injury to one of his legs. I hope he is going to be all right because he has been pretty good for New Zealand throughout the early stages, but he is currently still out there. Now he has to lift up the player, not quite able to get that one for Dixon. Now Tony Unshu waits for it to bounce up. Kurt Baker, Mina short of the line. He goes over, and that could be a try once again for New Zealand. Right, they are going to be checking this one, making sure that it is going to be a grounded try here for New Zealand. And as the kids know, all the swear words already. What are those other Grundies on about? And there as well says Mimanea. Right, for me, that's down for Kurt Baker. I don't think there'll be any troubles for him there. It was good work from, I believe it was O'Donoghue, who was almost able to hold him up, but it was just going to be tough to do from only a couple metres out from the line. But it is a try for New Zealand. They bring up now 31 points. Kurt Baker trying to line up this kick. Geez, he's got some distance on that. And it goes straight over. So now 33 points for New Zealand. And I'm looking forward to seeing Fiji take on not just Kenya, but also the USA as another one that they will have as an upcoming game. Like that group with Kenya, Fiji, USA, England was always going to be an exciting one. Definitely when we did get to see Kenya beat the USA, that was a huge one. But Perry Baker, he will not be returning for any of the games, I don't believe. Oh, this one now, just a mistake once again made by Wales. Unfortunately, just bumping that ball into touch themselves with Christmas hand. Moment all-time tries. Kurt Baker sitting there on 127 behind Kama, DJ Forbes, and also Mickelson right at the top, 235 for that man. It's going to be very tricky to catch, definitely for Kurt Baker, who probably, you'd argue, probably only has a few more years left in the Sevens maximum for himself. They will probably bring up some more of that young talent because already we're seeing Leroy Carter, Tangatau doing nicely for himself, Kitione Vai, all these new guys making their way into the side and really performing the highest level. Moses Leo as well, another player I do need to give a bit of a shout out to now. Roque Solia passes it back across now. Leroy Carter once again going short side. Oh, Kurt Baker having a bit of a juggle of the ball, but he hangs on to it in the end. Now New Zealand once again going to be passing it across. I believe that was Truss. He's got some brilliant acceleration for himself. Now available Once again, Leroy Carter goes through. It's going to be tough for him. 5 meters out from the line. Pop pass. It goes straight up into the hands of Wales. And Leroy Carter just making half a mistake there. New Zealand not clear releasing. And now it is going to be around the side once again here for Trehan. Can they get themselves their first try of the match here, Wales? Trying to back the pace of the youngster. Oh, he's just thrown it straight into the player. Okay, knock on, Black, play on. I believe they have said now it's going to be Lloyd Lewis with a nice step, 22 metres out from their line, straight on the ball for Dylan Collier. It's a penalty against them, though, for not rolling away. Leroy Carter can't quite believe it. But now, once again, it's going to be an opportunity for Williams to pass it across into the hands of the number 13. That's a deliberate knockdown from Tony Unshu and a double blow of the whistle, I would almost think. Or is it just the one? Nope, they are going to go for the scrum instead. Like they're saying, because Tony Unshu did make a deliberate attempt to try and catch that ball rather than just slap it down, that is why it is not a yellow. I was here yesterday at the Hurricanes vs Islanders. You were indeed. Kiwi Adventure Kid, welcome in to the live stream once again, mate. What was your favourite game of Super Rugby over the weekend? Do let me know. Currently 4 minutes left in this game between New Zealand and Wales currently. About to feed this ball in, and it is nicely regathered by Wales now off scrum time. Trehan, he's done so much for Wales recently, but just hasn't quite been able to make his way through. Now Morgan Williams has had his ankles taken out low. Now quick little recycle ball from Swanak. Backline. Oh no, it's just fallen out of the hands of Wales once again. And it just seems to be a common occurrence here currently. Leroy Carter, he has been able to get that ball back for New Zealand. Now Caleb Tangitau goes across Kurt Baker. Now gets another opportunity. Morgan Williams wrestling him high, and it's almost going to become a rolling maul by the looks of it. Yes, it is. So it's a maul. And now it has become a tackle, and they do have to release him. And also no yellow. And as I says, Mimania now going back across. And it's going to be Ruckus Lisoa. Passes it off to Leroy Carter down the wing. Nice step on the inside. Now turning a shoe. Snap back across. At the moment, the All Black Seven side, they have had a majority of the possession in the second half and the first. Tony Unshu backing himself on the outside. He has been able to break through the tackle. This will be a try. And he does manage to get in the corner for that one, using up a little bit more time there. And Tony Unshu does manage to get it. Crusaders versus Blues. It was a very exciting game, wasn't it? And Tony Unshu has been able to score himself his first try of this match. Just fending off the tackle of Morgan Williams. And unfortunately for Wales, every time they miss a tackle, New Zealand have been able to make the most of it, and now they will move up on to 38 points here. Wales are still yet to score themselves any points in this fixture. Okay, Baker, the ball on the outside. You'd have to argue Japan might have a decent chance against Wales, just because they've scored 2 tries against New Zealand and Samoa. Now, currently 2 minutes left. It's going to be McCarvey Black back out there. Good try. And this is the Kiwi Adventure Kid. Kicked off by McCarvey Black. He's trying to get it right. And that one just travels the 10 and nicely taken by Morgan Williams. He has been very prominent throughout the stages that he has just made his way out onto the field for. Now, a nice run forward from it is Arthur Lennon. Attack and run, but he is going to be dragged down by Moses Leo. Now being held back a little bit. It is Jones. Good step up to the halfway line here for Jones. Goes down. Almost is that a turnover? It looks very close to one. The referee's not really seeing it as a turnover attempt, and now he does end up giving away the penalty, taking a quick tap there for the youngster Morgan. Oh, in fact, sorry, it was actually Williams. He did have that one. Good try by the yellow card. And as I says, Mimania, and now currently going to be wrestling his way forward, getting back up to his feet for Wales. It wasn't held, so he is able to go back across once again. Little chip and chase here. Trying something different. Swanak, it doesn't work out for them. And now Tony Unshu going to be passing that back across ways. Still just available for New Zealand inside of their 22. Nice pass across. Drop ball from Brady Rush. And now another mistake leads to Wales having another attack. Jones going to be wrestled down by Caleb Tangitau. He has to run about 30 meters backwards just to try and spin around. He almost went through the gap. Only 30 seconds left. And this one between these two sides. Nice run forward from it is going to be Big Senyawiski. Something along those lines. It's a tricky name to say, that is for sure. Currently now Jones, he says take the quick tap. 13 seconds left. Lennon now. Okay, communication between the Welsh. And now they're going to be trying to set up for one last attacking opportunity. New Zealand giving away the last 4 penalties. Before that, it was actually 4 in a row up against Wales. Now the ball passed back. Nicely popped up for New Zealand. Caleb Tangitau. They could have kicked it into touch, but New Zealand, they want to prove a point, and they want to get themselves one more try out on the wing now. It's going to be a foot race. McGarvey Blackie's trying to keep himself in the field of play. He just does so, and it sits straight up into the hands of New Zealand. Now kick downfield from Wales. And they will have one last attacking opportunity. Ball beautifully on the inside. And Morgan Williams scores it for Wales. So that will kind of take the sails out of the Kiwis just a little bit there for the last one, because they weren't the team that scored the final try of this fixture. Instead, Wales able to get themselves on the try sheet. It was nicely done. A little bit of silky skills with the boot to be able to kick it there on the leg side, or a little bit more on the inside, I should say. And then Morgan Williams, he was everywhere. He did deserve a try, and he has been able to do just that. A nice kick forward from Tom Brown to get it to set up beautifully for Morgan Williams. An unbelievable try. There's Mivane, but nonetheless, that is almost going to be the end of this live stream, ladies and gentlemen. Our next one is going to be in 27 minutes or so's time, and that will be Fiji versus Kenya as the next match that we are going to be covering on the channel. But the full-time score in this game, New Zealand sitting 38, and Wales, they were sitting there on 5. It hasn't quite updated them yet, but we want them to get that point before I do end up ending the live stream, of course. But Kurt Baker, he had a bit of a 50-50 game. It's probably a fair enough statement, but Roko Lisoa was going very nicely. Also, Kitiona Vai was looking impressive. And then if I had to pick someone for Wales, I would probably say, I'll say Swanwick was actually probably an underrated player for them out there. And Morgan Williams did go very nicely off the bench. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. Like I mentioned, we will be back for the game between Fiji and Kenya that has taken place in a very short moment, starting around 9 a.m. New Zealand time, so about 25 minutes or so. And then South Africa versus Canada will be the game after that. And also we've got the USA England, let's go. And there says Mimanea. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in, and I will see you all for the next